Life was never designed to be easy. The weight you carry, the pain you feel, the doubt that creeps in when no one's watching, that's the process. It's supposed to be hard, because if it wasn't, everyone would do it. The struggle is what separates the ones who dream from the ones who achieve. The sleepless nights, the early mornings, the setbacks, the losses, they are not roadblocks, they are the road. Most people quit the moment it hurts. They run back to comfort, they run back to easy, but not you, not this time. You are built for the fight, you are forged in fire. Every scar on your soul is proof that you refuse to bow down. You don't grow when it's easy, you grow when it breaks you. When you're exhausted, bleeding, doubting everything inside you, and you still take one more step. That's power, that's greatness. So stop waiting for things to get lighter. Stop praying for the storm to pass. Carry the weight, walk through the fire, rise with the storm, because it's supposed to be hard. That's what makes it worth it. 10 key points of the speech. Hardship is the design, not the mistake. Struggle is part of the process, not something to avoid. Struggle separates achievers from dreamers. Difficulty filters out the weak from the relentless. Pain, loss, and setbacks are the actual path. They're not obstacles. They are the way forward. Most people quit when it gets painful. True growth begins after the point where most stop. You are built for resistance. Resilience is proof of inner strength. Scars are evidence of survival and strength. They represent persistence, not weakness. Growth comes from breaking points. True transformation happens when things are hardest. Greatness is born in exhaustion and doubt. Pushing past limits creates extraordinary results. Stop waiting for easy. Success never comes in comfort zones. Embrace difficulty as the price of achievement. The harder the path, the greater the reward. Would you like me to expand this into a full 6-8-minute narration, script with pacing, pauses, and emotional emphasis that feels like a ready-to-record motivational video? You said, expand till 400-word. Hardship is the design, not the mistake. Struggle is part of the process, not something to avoid. Write with line breaks between sentences to make it suitable for audio narration. Write without subtitles, no heading, no bullets and numbering, and no conclusion until instructed. Without subtitle and conclusion, ChatGPT said, hardship is the design, not the mistake. Struggle is not something to run from. It is not an error in the blueprint of life. It is the blueprint. Every challenge you face was not placed there to break you. It was placed there to build you. When the road feels steep, it is not a sign to turn back. It is a sign that you are climbing towards something worth reaching. If everything was easy, you would never grow. If everything was smooth, you would never discover your strength. The pain you carry is not punishment. It is preparation. The late nights, the early mornings, the days when you question yourself, when doubt whispers that you are not enough. Those are the very days that shape you into someone stronger than you imagined. Hardship refines you. It burns away the weakness. It forces you to dig deeper than you ever thought possible. It makes you reach places inside yourself you didn't know existed. Without resistance, you remain the same. Without difficulty, you never rise. Struggle is not the end of the path. It is the path. The setbacks, the failures, the rejections. Each one is a step. Each one is a teacher. Each one is proof that you are moving forward. The world is not testing you to see if you can survive. It is testing you to see if you can evolve. Every scar is evidence that you endured. Every loss is evidence that you showed up. Every obstacle is proof that you chose to keep going when others quit. Hardship is the fire that forges greatness. It does not ask permission. It does not wait until you feel ready. It arrives uninvited and demands everything from you. And when you give it everything, when you refuse to bow down, you come out changed. You come out unshakable. You come out with strength that cannot be taken. Hardship is the design, not the mistake. It was never meant to be easy. It was meant to make you unstoppable. Struggle separates achievers from dreamers. Difficulty is the filter. It is the test that life uses to see who truly wants it. Anyone can dream. Anyone can talk about what they want, but only the relentless are willing to fight for it. Struggle reveals who is serious and who is pretending. Because when the pain shows up, when the road gets heavy, when the doubt sets in, that's when most people let go. They fold under the weight of pressure. They retreat to comfort. They settle for good enough. But achievers are different. They lean into the storm. They don't run from struggle. They run toward it. They understand that difficulty is the price of greatness. Every setback, every rejection, every obstacle becomes fuel. They know struggle is not the end of the road. It is the road. Dreamers will always imagine the finish line. They will picture the reward, the applause, the moment of victory. But achievers, they are the ones still grinding when no one is watching. They are the ones who keep pushing when nothing is guaranteed. They are the ones who take the pain, the sweat, the exhaustion, and use it as proof that they are alive in the fight. Struggle builds separation. It draws the line between those who only wish and those who are willing to bleed. It shows the difference between wanting and working, because dreaming costs nothing, but achieving costs everything. It costs your comfort. It costs your excuses. It costs your willingness to stop blaming and start building. That's why the relentless rise. They don't ask for easy. They don't pray for the struggle to vanish. They embrace it because they know every ounce of resistance makes them stronger. Every closed door teaches them persistence. Every failure sharpens their hunger. Dreamers remain stuck in the idea of what could be. Achievers create what will be. And the dividing line between the two is not talent, not luck, not opportunity. It is struggle. Struggle separates the ones who talk from the ones who act. It filters out the weak and leaves behind only the relentless. Pain, loss, and setbacks are the actual path. They are not detours. They are not mistakes. They are the way forward. Every time life knocks you down, it is not trying to push you away from your destiny. It is pushing you into it. The hurt you feel, the disappointments you carry, the failures that haunt you, they are not barriers. They are building blocks. They are shaping you into the person who can handle the future you are chasing. Without pain, you would never learn strength. Without loss, you would never understand value. Without setbacks, you would never discover resilience. The moments that sting the most are the moments that prepare you the best. Every door that closed was teaching you where not to waste your time. Every person who left was teaching you who you didn't need. Every failure was teaching you how to stand taller next time. You see, progress doesn't come from avoiding the fire. It comes from walking through it. The road to growth is not smooth. It is rough. It is uneven. It is filled with challenges that demand everything from you. But those very challenges are the proof that you are alive, moving, and growing. The loss that broke your heart didn't end you. It woke you up. The pain that felt unbearable didn't destroy you. It made you unshakable. The setbacks that seemed like punishment were actually direction. They were pointing you towards something better, something greater, something more aligned with who you are meant to be. The truth is, the easy road never leads to greatness. The comfortable path never builds strength. It is the struggle, the heartbreak, the grind, the tears, the endless attempts. That's where the transformation lies. What looks like the end is really the beginning. What feels like failure is really foundation. Pain, loss, and setbacks are not there to stop you. They are there to prepare you. They are not obstacles. They are the way forward. Most people quit when it gets painful, the moment it burns. the moment the weight feels too heavy, the moment the dream starts demanding more than they thought it would, that is when they walk away, because comfort feels safer than struggle, because rest feels easier than resistance. But true growth doesn't live in comfort. It doesn't show up when things are easy. It begins after the point where most stop. Growth is waiting on the other side of pain. It hides in the extra mile. It lives in the second wind, the moment when your body says no, but your spirit says yes. Most people never reach that place. They stop at tired. They stop at fear. They stop at doubt. But the ones who refuse to stop discover something different. They discover power. They discover strength that was buried deep, only awakened when everything else inside them screamed to quit. That is where the transformation happens, not in the first attempt, not in the easy repetitions, not in the early stages when energy is high and excitement carries you forward. The transformation happens when fatigue sets in, when your lungs are burning, when your heart is racing, when your mind is begging you to let go, and you keep moving anyway. That moment rewires you. It takes the old version of you and replaces it with someone unbreakable. Most people will never meet that version of themselves because they quit too soon. They never push past the threshold. They never walk into the fire. But those who keep going, those who lean into the pain, those who embrace the grind, they find a self that can endure anything. Pain is not the signal to stop. It is the signal that growth is near. It is the sign that you are leaving behind who you were and stepping into who you are meant to be. Most people quit when it gets painful. But true growth begins after the point where most stop. You are built for resistance. You were not created to collapse at the first sign of struggle. You were not made to surrender when life pushes against you. Every part of you was designed to endure, to adapt, to rise. Resilience is not something you borrow. It is already inside you. It is proof of your inner strength. When storms come, you bend, but you do not break. When pressure mounts, you may stumble, but you do not shatter. Resistance reveals who you really are. It strips away the noise, the excuses, the comfort, and it forces you to see the core of your being. And that core is stronger than you think. Every challenge you've survived so far is evidence. Every battle you've fought and every wound you've healed from is proof. You have faced nights that felt endless. You have carried burdens that seemed impossible, and still you are here, still breathing, still fighting, still standing. That is resilience, not the absence of pain, but the ability to rise inside the pain. Not the absence of failure, but the determination to keep moving in spite of it. Resistance is the training ground of strength. It's the friction that sharpens you. It's the weight that makes you stronger with every lift. Without resistance, you would remain soft. Without struggle, you would never discover how powerful you truly are. Life does not challenge you to crush you. It challenges you to reveal you, to show you that even when everything feels against you, you can push back. You can rise higher. You can last longer. You are tougher than the trial. You are greater than the obstacle. Resilience is your birthright. It is the silent voice inside that says, "Not yet, keep going." It is the fire that refuses to die, even when the world tries to smother it. You are built for resistance. Every scar proves it. Every comeback proves it. Every day you rise again proves it. Resilience is proof of your inner strength. Scars are evidence of survival and strength. They are not marks of weakness. They are not reminders of defeat. They are proof that you endured what tried to break you. Every scar tells a story of a battle faced, a story of pain that did not last forever, a story of persistence that carried you through. When you look at your scars, you are not looking at damage. You are looking at resilience written on your skin, on your heart, and on your soul. Scars are symbols that you fought and you refused to quit. They show that even in the hardest moments you chose to keep going. They represent nights of struggle and mornings of determination. They remind you that while pain is temporary, strength is permanent. Some scars are visible, others leave inside where no one can see them. Both are equally powerful. Both whisper the same truth: you survived. You walked through fire and came out alive. You faced storms and refused to drown. You were knocked down, but you rose again. That is what scars mean. They mean you didn't surrender. They mean you carried on even when it hurt. They mean persistence lived inside you when quitting seemed easier. Do not hide your scars. Do not cover them in shame. Wear them as proof that you were tested and that you endured. Scars are not the end of the story. They are the beginning of your strength. They are chapters of resilience written in flesh and memory. Each scar is a medal. Each scar is a reminder of battles only you know. Each scar is evidence that you chose to rise instead of remain broken. The world may see scars as flaws, but the truth is, scars are the markings of warriors. They are signs of persistence. They are proof of survival. They are not weakness. They are strength made visible. Scars are evidence of survival and strength. They represent persistence, not weakness. Growth comes from breaking points. True transformation does not happen when everything is smooth. It does not happen when the road is easy and the load is light. It happens when you are pushed to the edge. When you are tired, broken, and questioning whether you can keep going, that is where growth lives. It lives in the struggle that bends you but does not break you. It lives in the nights when you want to quit but take one more step anyway. It lives in the moments when you feel like you have nothing left, and somehow you find more. Breaking points are not the end. They are the doorway. They open you to a new version of yourself, a version that could only be revealed through hardship. When everything falls apart, you discover what is unshakable inside you. When the weight becomes unbearable, you uncover strength you didn't know existed. Transformation is born in fire. It is born in resistance. It is born in pain that stretches you beyond your limits. Most people run from breaking points. They see them as defeat. They see them as failure. But those who stay in the fire, those who endure the breaking, come out unrecognizable. Not weaker, but stronger, not smaller, but greater, because breaking points are not destruction, they are construction. They break apart the old version of you so the stronger version can rise. Every tear, every setback, every collapse is carving out space for growth. Every moment of exhaustion is shaping you into someone tougher, sharper, and more resilient. You do not truly grow when life is easy. You grow when life demands everything, and you still find a way to answer. You grow when pain tests you and you refuse to quit. You grow when breaking points reveal your hidden power. True transformation does not happen in comfort. It happens in the hardest seasons of your life. Growth comes from breaking points. True transformation happens when things are hardest. Greatness is born in exhaustion and doubt. It does not appear in the moments when everything feels easy. It does not arrive when you are comfortable, rested, and safe. It comes when your body screams for rest. It comes when your mind is filled with questions. It comes when you are standing at the edge, unsure if you can take another step. That is where greatness is created. Pushing past limits is the birthplace of extraordinary results. Limits are illusions. They are walls your mind builds to keep you safe. But every time you press beyond those walls, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you imagined. Exhaustion is not the end. It is the beginning of strength. Doubt is not weakness. It is the signal that you are walking into unknown territory where growth lives. Most people stop when they are tired. Most people stop when they are uncertain, but greatness requires going further. It demands stepping forward even when you cannot see the outcome. It requires giving everything, even when you think there is nothing left to give. That final push, that last effort, that refusal to quit, that is what creates the extraordinary. Every breakthrough is born on the other side of exhaustion. Every victory is forged in the fire of doubt. When your legs shake, when your voice trembles, when your heart questions if you can go on, and you still press forward, you unlock a version of yourself that most will never meet. That version is stronger. That version is unstoppable. That version carries greatness, because greatness does not come from talent alone. It does not come from luck. It comes from resilience. It comes from persistence. It comes from pushing past the edge when everything inside you begs to stop. That is why exhaustion and doubt are not your enemies. They are your opportunities. They are the signs that you are close to transformation. Greatness is born in exhaustion and doubt. Pushing past limits creates extraordinary results. Stop waiting for easy. Easy is the trap. Easy is the illusion that keeps people stuck in the same place year after year. Nothing worth having was ever built on comfort. Nothing extraordinary ever came from staying safe. Success does not live in comfort zones. It lives in the struggle, in the grind, in the sleepless nights, and the sacrifices that most people are unwilling to make. If you are waiting for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, the perfect conditions, you will wait forever. There is no perfect moment. There is only now, and now is hard. Now demands courage. Now demands action when you don't feel ready. The truth is, comfort zones are prisons disguised as safety. They keep you warm, but they keep you small. They protect you, but they also limit you. Every dream you have lives outside that zone. Every goal worth chasing requires you to step into discomfort. Growth only happens when you stretch. Progress only happens when you risk. Success only happens when you embrace the hard road and stop searching for shortcuts. The easy path never leads to greatness. It leads to regret. It leads to wasted years. It leads to a life half-lived. But the hard path, the one filled with challenges, failures, and uncertainty, that is the path that builds champions. That is the path that creates leaders. That is the path that shapes destiny. Do not ask for things to be easier. Ask to be stronger. Do not wait for comfort. Step into the unknown and let it teach you who you really are. Success has never been about waiting. It has always been about moving. Moving when it hurts. Moving when it's uncomfortable. Moving when doubt tells you to stop. Stop waiting for easy, because easy will never come, and success never comes in comfort zones. Embrace difficulty as the price of achievement. There is no success without sacrifice. There is no greatness without struggle. The harder the path, the greater the reward waiting at the end. Most people look for shortcuts. They want the prize without paying the cost. But shortcuts rob you of strength. They rob you of character. They rob you of the transformation that only comes through difficulty. Every great achievement carries a weight. It demands your time. It demands your focus. It demands your energy, your effort, and sometimes even your tears. That weight is not there to stop you. It is there to shape you. It is there to prepare you for the very thing you are chasing. If the road feels hard, it means you are on the right one. If the climb feels steep, it means the view will be worth it. The greater the struggle, the more powerful the reward becomes, because the reward is not just the trophy at the end. It is the strength you gain in the journey. It is the resilience built through the trials. It is the pride of knowing you did not give up when it got hard. Difficulty is not your enemy. It is your tuition. It is the price you pay for living a life that matters. It is the currency of success, and every ounce of effort you spend on it returns multiplied in the future. Do not run from the hard road. Do not pray for it to disappear. Walk it, own it, conquer it. Because every step on that difficult path makes you stronger, sharper, and more prepared for the life you dream about. The easy road builds nothing. The hard road builds everything. Embrace the wait. Embrace the climb. Embrace the struggle, because the harder the path, the greater the reward.